Kate Broughton last updated 12:51, May 13, 2018. President Donald Trump said he wanted to stop global freeloading. In a speech announcing the most sweeping action in history to lower prices for prescription drugs for the American people, U.S. President Donald Trump said he wants to support U.S. drug companies to get more money from freeloading foreign countries, including New Zealand. But is New Zealand really freeloading, and will Trump's plans affect our access to high-priced medicines in future? Why is Donald Trump upset? Trump says other countries use socialized healthcare to command unfairly low prices from U.S. drug makers. This places the burden of financing drug development largely on American patients and taxpayers, subsidizes foreign consumers, and reduces innovation in the development of new treatments, he said. Read more, Trump wants to build a drug cartel, and wants NZ to pay for it, Jonathan Milne, NZ will not be bullied, Hep C patients treatment from Drug Buyers Club in New Zealand. He'd be talking about Pharmac, a government agency that negotiates with pharmaceutical companies and decides what medicines will be publicly funded based on the best price and within a limited, or capped, budget. In 2017 the total Pharmac budget was increased to $870 million. Why do we have Pharmac? In the 1980s, the cost of medicines exploded with growth in some years over 20%. Pharmac was set up in 1993 to counter this. The agency began negotiating with drug companies, and encouraged competition through a tendering process in an effort to lower prices and get the best deal. Many other countries adopted the same strategy, including the U.S. No. America's National Health Insurance Agency Medicare is prohibited by law from negotiating with drug companies to bring prices down. America has the highest drug prices in the world. In the 2016 U.S. election, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders both promised to allow Medicare to negotiate. During his campaign, Donald Trump said allowing negotiation would save the U.S. $300 billion, a claim that was heavily disputed. So Trump has a fair point. Well, Trump doesn't address the high prices charged for drugs by the companies, especially while under a patent, and whether they can be justified. Former Pharmac medical director Dr. Peter Moody says drug companies make huge profits. Former medical director of Pharmac, Dr. Peter Moody, said the profits made by drug companies are absolutely huge, and much of what they call research is actually marketing. Trump's argument that foreign countries have been ripping off drug companies is an argument that drug companies have been using for 20 years. For example, hepatitis C patient and advocate Hazel Heal says the company that patented the drug cure for hepatitis C, Gilead, charged $100,000 for a course of the treatment. It could not justify the high price by the spend on our U.S. economist Jeffrey Sachs said Gilead recouped its $11 billion investment in R. This gives the company a monopoly, or exclusive right, to market and sell the highly prized drug, enabling it to charge very high prices. The justification for the high prices is that the drug company needs time to recoup the large investment made in research and development to create the drug in the first place. Once a patent period ends, generic versions of the drug can be produced, and this often drops the price by 90 to 95%. About 80% of medicines worldwide are under a patent, according to Christchurch forensic psychologist and spokesman for Doctors for Healthy Trade Eric Monasterio. Can Pharmac do anything about that? Often drugs companies that want to sell patented drugs in New Zealand also want to sell non-patented drugs, so Pharmac seeks to negotiate to get the best deal. However, in some cases this means medicines remain out of reach for New Zealanders for some time until the drug companies are able to drop the price to an acceptable level. Can the U.S. really make a difference to our prices? Yes, if New Zealand signed a trade deal with the U.S. which allowed U.S. drug companies to extend the patent period. How come our drugs are cheap? Auckland University professor of law Jane Kelsey said if the U.S. re-entered the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership (CPTPP) deal, it would demand extensions on patent periods. The U.S. is currently doing this in the North American Free Trade Agreement (NAFTA) with Mexico and Canada, adding an extra 12 years. When the U.S. was part of the TPPA, it wanted an additional patent period of 5 to 8 years. What about older drugs? Trump would struggle to do anything to push up prices of drugs which are already out of their patent period. His administration has said that it plans to work with several federal agencies to address the unfair disparity between U.S. and global prices. But experts in the U.S. are skeptical that Trump could really pressure foreign governments to pay more for drugs. It's hard to know why Germany or France or Australia would agree to something like that, said Professor Jack Hoadley, of Georgetown University's Health Policy Institute. All our drugs from the U.S. Over 50% of drug companies are based in the U.S., with others from Germany and Japan, estimates Monasterio. generics, and brand-name pharmaceuticals, are manufactured in factories all over the world. Stuff